Hey guys, it's Jason from the G.O.A.T Pod. We're so glad that you decided to listen to this episode. Before we get started, we have a short disclaimer. If you've already listened to Back in Black by AC/DC, you'll recognize that some of the lyrics are a little more explicit than other albums that we've covered. To accurately discuss some of the topics that are covered in this album, we do have to broach several topics that are a little beyond what we would normally speak about. There is nothing that is explicit in this podcast. That being said, some of the topics and the things that are spoken of are a little bit tougher than what we normally speak on. We just wanted to give you this one heads up before getting involved, but we are excited nonetheless that you are listening to our podcast. Thank you for joining us, and here we go.
Hello, you're listening to the G.O.A.T Pod. This is a podcast where we discuss the best-selling albums of all time. Hosted by Jason Purrier, Stephen Schott, Daniel Brown, and me, Jared Slusher. Now let's go ahead and dive into today's episode.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome
Hi.
Hello.
back to the G.O.A.T Pod, or maybe this is the first episode you're listening to, in which case, just welcome. How are you? How's everyone? I'm Steven, and how's everyone else doing?
I'm doing pretty, Daniel. Yeah.
I'm rocking and rolling, bro.
I'm Jared, and I have jury duty tomorrow.
Jerry, you said you have jury duty?
Yeah.
I pray for the person that has you on their
You
jury.
might get kicked off the jury for talking about it on a podcast.
I can't tell you what it is, because I also don't know. But
Oh.
I've
They're
been summoned.
asking you like the questions to like
Nice.
see if you can stay on the jury, and they're going, did anybody by chance mention they were going to be on this on any kind of media platform? Jared's just gonna be like,
Jared's just
I
sweating
did.
profusely. Oh, no.
Ugh.
Thanks. You can go home.
Score.
Nice.
Yeah, I was hoping it would be in the division I used to work in, and I can just be like, I have a conflict of interest because of everybody here, or something like that. But
Yeah.
it looks like it might not be that, but we'll see.
I have a conflict of interest. If this guy was never prosecuted, I wouldn't be here.
That's true. And
Yeah.
I'm quite conflicted.
Yeah. All right. Well, today we have a good episode. We're going to be talking about AC/DC, or Akadaka, as it's known in Australia or Austria. One of those two. I think it's Australia. It seems more Australian. But I had a question for you guys. If AC/DC wrote a song about your weekend plans or whatever you did last weekend, what might that song be called? And I'm going to start with J-Train.
Which one?
Which one?
Jason, it's Jason.
Okay. I was going to say, if you were going with first and middle initials, it's still the same question. But
It's still the same.
I've made this mistake before, and I
We've done
don't
this
learn.
before. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been down this road.
Yeah. Jason, what do you got?
I got church bells is what I would go with.
Ooh.
For church, literally like 85% of the weekend. So yeah, I think that would well describe both this past weekend as well as most weekends.
Nice.
Nice. Church bells.
Church bells.
Definitely changes the meaning of that song.
Just a little
Yeah.
bit.
How's about J Money, Jarrett, Slusher?
Let's see.
What do you think?
I think it would be something like "Tell Me to Go."
Okay.
We had the Serve Tour come to our area recently, which, if you don't know what that is, it's essentially there's a thing called Send Relief, which is between the IMB and NAMB, if you know what those are for. Otherwise, you can just look it up. But one of their offshoots to help in different areas of relief is Sin Relief. And so came to the area and helped with different homes and things like that, service projects. And for some of us, our youth pastor who came out here to move and plant a church and all that kind of stuff, he was actually heading up or in charge of the whole shindig. And so I was right-hand man, and I was essentially like, whatever you need me to do, just tell me to go and I'll do it. So I think tell me to go.
I just like that you incorporated the word shindig. And so far, these answers are way more morally oriented than the typical AC/DC song, as we shall see.
They're oriented to some morals.
Some morals.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't know if I would call them morals. Look, I'm not judging. I'm just saying. Daniel, aka Dan. What do you got?
This past weekend and the weekend before, it was probably Zach is back. My brother was in town for a couple weeks, and the last couple weekends have just been hanging out with him. Other than that, probably play ball. We're in fall, and it's football season, and it's baseball's going on. We got playoffs. And it's just a good time to be a sports fan. Play ball.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Football, yeah. Football. I love football. Football is my life. That's the one with the yellow, the gold, it's like a field.
Yeah, that's badminton.
Hey, Beans. What about you? What about you?
Thank you for calling me by my proper title.
Yeah.
I would say
Bean.
thrills, kills, and films. Because I'm gonna have a good time. I'm gonna kill people, and I'm gonna watch a movie.
Well, I thought you said kilns, like you've been doing pottery or something.
No, it's not a pottery weekend. No, but I'm gonna go to Winston-Salem, and I'm gonna watch a movie. And it has Leonardo DiCaprio in it. He's up and coming guy in Hollywood. But
I've heard
it's I forget what it's called. One battle after another.
One day more. No.
One day.
It's upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah,
that's Russell Crowe.
Yeah, but it's gonna be a great time.
To be fair, I wasn't saying that song. I was saying the comparable actor in that movie.
Nice.
Sure.
I know who Hugh Jackman is, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Good save.
What's the album that we're talking about today?
Yes. Good subject change. We are going to be talking about Back in Black by AC/DC.
Not yellow or red.
Nope. Nope. Never that. But it's got
or purple.
30, especially not purple. It's got 31.2 sales. I think that I'm guessing that's millions. 31.2 million certified, and they claim 50 million, which is a lot of sales. So good for them. Came out in 1980.
I love that this is like the 20th episode or whatever, and Steven still doesn't know how that part's supposed to go.
It takes me a long time to learn stuff. Anyway, how about some background information from the one and only Jarrett?
Yeah, dude. So Back in Black by AC/DC, as Steven said, released July 25th, 1980. This is the band's 7th studio album. And personnel on this album is Angus Young on lead guitar and his brother Malcolm on rhythm guitar, Cliff Williams on bass, Phil Rudd on the drums, and the new vocalist Brian Johnson. More on him in a bit. This was produced by Robert Muck Lang, who also worked on Highway to Hell with them, and who we've talked about before on Shania Twain's podcast. her ex-husband and producer on a few of her albums. And he's also done many other things like Foreigner. I already forgot the rest. I want to say Poison. He's known as the rock guy, and it comes from working with AC/DC on these on Back in Black and Highway to Hell. And then he's worked with many rock artists in the 80s. I think he's also worked with Nickelback. So he's gotten around.
Look at this graph.
And
Sorry.
AC/DC's Australian. And AC/DC, actually, does anyone know what AC/DC stands for?
It means power.
It means power. As a quote from a video that I saw of them when
Yep.
I don't know if y'all all saw the same video, and if so, this is amazing. Essentially, there was somebody, and they were like, a lot of people ask, like, is like what you're doing some like correspondence with like devil and Satan worship? And they were just like, no, it was like on the back of our sister's toaster. It's just power, AC/DC.
Was it a toaster or like sewing machine?
Sewing machine.
Oh,
or
sewing
any
machine.
electrical appliance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, AC/DC stand. If you look at anything that's electronic and you see DC in or AC or whatever, it's active current or direct current, and you can look up what that means. But they formed in 1973 in Australia, and this album is fresh off of their best commercial album so far, Highway to Hell, released in 1979, and unfortunately, most of you may already know this. This was following the death of lead singer Bon Scott, who passed away due to alcohol poisoning, or what is officially known as death by misadventure. Just slightly a more fun way of putting that. He passed. This is actually a really crazy timeline. He passed February of 1980. The band begins auditioning new singers immediately after his funeral on March 1st. And they land on Geordie singer Brian Johnson, then go into the recording studio in April of 1980 in the Bahamas, in Nassau. And then there's no single when the album comes out. I think the last single with Scott, last single with Scott came out in February, like around the time he died or right before he passed. And then he passes, funeral, auditions, all this kind of stuff. And then they put the album out in July, and the first single, You Shook Me All Night Long, doesn't come out until like a month after the album comes out.
Wow.
So the band that brought you and Dynamite with Scott, now if you're a fan of AC/DC and you hear of all this stuff that happens within a few months of each other, your first introduction to this new lineup is Hell's Bells, which if you listen to it, it takes about a solid minute and a half until you get to Johnson's vocals. So I'm just imagining all these fans of AC/DC, their beloved singer dies, and it's like, what are they going to sound like now? You've got nothing but like maybe some newspaper reviews and stuff like that. But that, you don't really know what they sound like until you get to Hell's Bells. You get through the intro.
It takes forever to get into it.
And then you get through the verse, get to the chorus, and now we've got Brian Johnson. It's around the same kind of energy, but it's different. So, and actually the black cover for the album is a sign of mourning. So the band thought they were going to be done after Scott passed, but Scott's family was like, no, he wouldn't want that. He would want y'all to keep going. And so they originally thought, we're just going to have this entire album just be black. And the record label was like, no, we're not going to just have it be all black. And so that's why we have the letters, AC/DC, Back in Black, all that stuff. But Hell's Bells is also kind of an ode to Bon Scott.
Very cool. Jason, why don't you go ahead and hit us with a track listing?
All right. So our track listing for Back in Black by AC/DC starts off with one of their singles, Hell's Bells, which many people know as Ryan Helsley's walk-up song in baseball. you also have the next track, Shoot to Thrill, also known as a walk-up song in Avengers and Iron Man 2. You then have What Do You Do for Money, Honey, which, as everybody here knows, obviously Jonathan Papelbon used that as his walk-up in the MLB.
Sure didn't know that.
There was
Would never have known that.
Giving the Dog hey, right after that, we have Given the Dog a Bone, which doesn't have really anybody that uses that, so we'll just forget about that. And then we have Let Me Put My Love Into You. But there's a lot of people that use it. Nobody really specific. And then we flip on to side B, and we have Back in Black. Obviously, everyone knows how Bailey Ober, as well as Ryan Helsley, once he went to the Mets, uses this as a walk-in for things. Then following after Back in Black, obviously a single, the lead single of this album, You Shook Me All Night Long, was clearly the walk-in for JT Quinn for Ole Miss baseball.
It was not clear.
And then we have a Drink on Me, not a single or anything, but clearly used as the walk-up song for Austin Hedges in the 2025 season. Then we follow that with the second to last song, Shake a Leg, which was also used by Austin Hedges, but back in 2018, and then Josh Reddick in 2014 for the Oakland Athletics, RIP. And then our final one, which was a single only in the UK, Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution. This was a big one, obviously, as Justin Morneau used this also as his walk-up song.
Who
and
are
that's our
people,
track
really
listing for this.
All right, well, all right. Thank you, Jason,
You're
for
welcome.
the track listings followed by a useless piece of information.
I love that. I'm the target audience for that.
There we go. If
I didn't know any of those people. I don't.
If
know about
if you're
sports.
another one that I said that and you loved it, please hit us up on socials and let me know.
Yeah.
And buy Steven tickets to any MLB game that's around.
You-
Got these players.
That'll be wasted money. I will.
leave it up to him to like get to the game, but just get him like a ticket.
Nah, I'd just give it to Jason probably. I'd mail him to you.
That's fair.
I'll take
That's
that.
fair. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's get into this. First of all, the lyrics and themes. To me, a lot of this was about rock and roll and how it is good, and sex and how it is also good, and partying and thrills, and sort of about how those things are good as well. There was a one song in particular sticks out to me in terms of lyrics and themes, and not in a good way. Let's see, what is it called? What is it called? Let Me Put My Love Into You. Now,
Yeah.
for those of you who are not, literary critics or philosophers, I believe that he is speaking here about doing it, is one way of putting it. But it's not very. In reality, it's not very difficult to put that together. But there was another lyric in that song, something about cake and knives, and in this
Oh yeah.
metaphor, the knife is probably a wiener, honestly. But what did you guys think of this? Think of the lyrics and
This is
themes.
definitely
in
the
particular.
most sexual album we've hit on the podcast,
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
It's
It's mildly ironic for, again, not to say any of these albums obviously had their references to things, but that there were kind of no other album all the way up to here that was this overt about these things. And it was, I mean, in doing research, it was very controversial when it came out at the time, which is probably why it became popular with youth that wanted to show off rebellion, to listen to things that their parents didn't want them to listen to. But
To shake a leg.
1980.
The fact that,
was
like,
pretty early.
yeah, and the fact that like it is reached now number 2 all time is kind of wild. It's like musically, it makes sense. Like when you listen to it, you're like, okay, I see why this musically got there. But lyrically, it's like, wow, this is a jump from kind of the rest of everything we've had. Even when there is large amounts of references, it was never this much on every single song.
Yeah. And when there are references, they spend a little more time and imagination on
There's a little
sort
more
of
nuance in the statements.
a little more nuance.
I mean, this just like hits hard: sex, drugs, rock and roll.
Yeah.
Maybe it's why it like had so much pull, even though it wasn't like individual songs didn't hit top of the charts. And maybe that's some of it due to the timing of the singles, some of it due to the nature of the songs, but the album as a whole just really, like, they don't shy away from it. And it probably drew in that entire crowd, especially when it came out. That's like, oh, we just want this.
Right.
Yeah.
And we don't want you to like dance around it.
It's I'm looking at the track listing for Appetite for Destruction, and it's weird to me how, I don't know how you would accurately describe it. It feels like Appetite for Destruction slightly more like romantic in its lyrics than this one is. This one's just straight up sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Appetite for Destruction is more relational.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Cut Your Cake with My Knife is really romantic. Honestly, I thought it was kind of interesting that they were still so much geared toward sex, drugs, and rock and roll, given that that's how the old lead singer died, from having a good time. But honestly, I can understand why they did this, because AC/DC fans would probably not want some huge change. I mean, the lead singer is already, changing, and they wouldn't want the music and the themes of the music to change drastically too. They would want it to stay on brand with AC/DC. Jason, did you have something else you were gonna say?
Yeah, I was going to just add in, and this is not specifically on the lyrics, but has kind of relation to it. There is some level of controversy, even still, of kind of who did write the lyrics because of that very reason of, hey, it does seem a lot like what was before, and kind of a strange, hey, that they would use these same themes right after their friend passed. So there are theories that Scott, before he died, actually wrote all of these lyrics. And so they were just kind of using the songs. Again, there's no like actual, hey, credible evidence, but that's the kind of fan theory that's still going around as a controversy about these lyrics.
Interesting.
Yeah. I know the phrase, I think some of his friends have talked about the phrase in "You Shook Me All Night Long." She told me to come, but I was already there. Like that phrase in particular is Bon Scottish. And so I could definitely see him having a notebook or something around, and they use that or use some of those ideas, or they used all of it. But yeah, the credits are Young, and Johnson officially. So that's at least what they decided to publish. But
yeah, you
can theorize yourself.
Yeah, that is interesting. Wonder. Well, it's not important. Anything else on the lyrics and the themes, or you want to talk about the musical nidities and hot takes? I believe Jason has a real scorcher.
Hey,
I do want to say real quick that can segue into this is that the choruses for most of these songs, actually for most AC/DC songs, the choruses in particular are very chanty. Like most of these songs, you listen to them, Hell's Bells, the chorus is Hell's Bells. Shoot to Thrill has a little bit more. What Do You Do for Money, Honey? That one is just the title. Same with Giving the Dog a Bit. Like a lot of these songs are very chanty in the chorus, and I found that interesting.
Yeah, I can see it.
Good,
sort of
good
anthems.
Like audience, like concert songs.
Yeah.
No,
sorry, go on, Jason.
The theme of these songs, and part of why I kind of did the whole track listening the way I did is essentially every single one of these songs is used as a theme song somewhere. And I feel like that in their lyrics and their writing style, to kind of segue into the music, they very much write in this kind of anthem-y way. Not anthem in the sense of like party rock, but like in the sense of every song has that hard feel, kind of get you energized, get you involved type sound, which I think really defines their music in many ways.
Yeah, now I feel bad about calling it useless information. Shame on me.
Hey, it all comes around sometimes, except for the times that it doesn't. But I think on my hot takes this time, which I don't have too many, but we'll begin with this one. And you know, they could cancel me on this. They could really throw me under the bus for these thoughts. But I don't know if any of y'all listen to. I don't know if y'all listen to this album in headphones, but the way that the mixing is panned, and because many of the songs begin with electric guitar, it always starts on the right side. And, you know, that gets a little bit old.
Interesting.
We look forward to your letters and complaints.
No, it was not a hot take, but it was just kind of a neat thing that I noticed, that I was like, it's interesting that they did kind of use one set of pannings of right, left, center for every song. And so like every time you listen, the electric guitar is kind of right in that exact same location. Every time your drums are in that exact same location. Every time your bass is kind of in that same space, which, you know, has its upsides and downsides. And the upside is like, hey, the sound is very consistent. On the downside, hey, if you are listening on headphones or like really good, like two-sided speakers, running stereo, you're gonna hear clearly everything starting on that right side.
Yeah.
Brad Samuelson did the mixing on this one.
Oh.
So yeah, I think even though it's not really a hot take, I think there is a level that, in one sense, because they kind of use the exact same panning for all the songs, there's some clarity in the mix that's really sweet and consistent. But in the long sense, like, hey, every time you listen in stereo, it's always kind of coming into that exact same space, and it's really hitting you hard in those locations.
Yeah.
So, hot take or not, I think the mixing done in this album is really, really, really wonderful. And I know I often have hot takes on this, but I think everything's really well balanced, and is part of why people continue to utilize these tracks in so many different ways.
I will say, like, we've listened to some amazingly produced albums that we had a lot to say about, and this just didn't feel like one of them. The panning was cool if you're listening in stereo, but it is kind of the same thing every time, so you're anticipating it. So it makes it, like, I don't know, less exciting to listen to once you've heard it a couple times. Like on multiple listens, you know exactly what's happening next, which like happens when you listen anyways. But even still, like, Hell's Bells is one of the best intros to an album, to a song. Like, it's just got this feeling to it that's really good. But even when you hear, like, for me, the way that my headphones listen to it, it sits in like the back right. Which is cool the first two times.
But if it's every time, it loses the effect. Yeah,
that's my thought.
Yeah, could see that. Only real note I have on the production and recording would be just, you know, the laying effect. Or is it Lange? I can't remember. But Mutt, in his style of recording and producing people, is essentially perfection, which annoyed the heck out of AC/DC.
Sure.
Like, it got them, you know, obviously we're talking about them now, but you can look on Wikipedia for like ins and outs of that. But essentially, especially for Brian's vocals, Mutt was like, oh, we got to do that again. You're holding this note too long. You can't breathe after that. and would record like not quite like Axl Rose, like one line at a time, but essentially at least a phrase, a natural section at a time, so that they could get a perfect take. And I think they only used him for this album, the next album, and then after that they're like, we can't do this anymore, we got to do something different.
Yeah, I think
he gets results though.
Right.
the one other note that I had, kind of musical nudity, so many of these albums we've talked about the vast breadth of sounds that are utilized, and like this album is exactly, other than the few things like the Hell's Bells sound at the beginning, a couple different things in there, is essentially vocals, electric guitars, bass guitar, drums.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. And the fact that so much is done sound breadth with so little. And I think it's kind of, Dan, where you were saying like, hey, you kind of know what to expect. It's not like we're in here listening for, oh, I didn't notice that this was happening in here. Oh, I didn't notice that instrument this first time. Or I didn't notice that change. Because it's like, no, you heard every little piece.
Yeah.
Like it is very prominent and exactly as they wanted it. And that's lead guitar, rhythm guitar, bass, drums. Every song, exactly that combo. Definitely, I think they probably used a couple different guitars or different amps and mics tones and stuff. But for the most part, and the pedals, of course, but like for the most part, like you have the same set coming in every time, which gives it such a distinct sound, but also is like, hey, it is simpler than many things. And I know obviously when we get into our final album, which will be multiple episodes ahead because we got one in between, Thriller is going to be like Michael Jackson albums. There's going to be samples, there's going to be tracks, there's going to be things from all over the place. And you don't have
a
that
lot
here.
to pick up on.
Yeah.
And so I think it's neat. Not really a hot take, just a neat thing.
That is neat. I like the simplicity that it adds to their music, and it reminds me of like punk music. Like punk rock was like very stripped down and just guitar, bass, and drums, and someone singing. And I think I wouldn't say AC/DC is punk rock, but I mean maybe I don't know, could be in some ways, but they've definitely got that simplicity and like kind of sort of stripped down feel while still feeling very very larger than life. The songs are the songs work on their own.
Yeah, I could definitely hear a little element of Led Zeppelin in there. Both the powerfulness and octave of the vocals and the strength of the band as a whole. Which is interesting if you listen to Brian Johnson's vocals on Geordie, it's very much more natural, not quite as like chest heavy as much as head heavy for those of you who are singers. But then this is a completely different tone. It's more like nasal falsetto-y power. And I feel like Bon Scott, as we listened to a little bit earlier, his voice is slightly more natural than I think Brian Johnson's is.
Yeah,
that makes any sense.
So speaking of the vocals, we can go into highlights here. This is maybe kind of a highlight, or maybe it's just an observation, but I've never the vocals for AC/DC are so distinctive. Like I have never heard somebody else sing like that. And I'm wondering how, like, who came up with the idea to sing like that? That doesn't just happen organically, I don't think. But it's like I said, it's very distinctive and it's very good. Like it works for their music. But yeah, the vocals are just bananas to me.
Well, some of the albums that were coming out around that time, like really point to this lead tenor male just like letting it go. I mean, AC/DC had a few different albums that like came out in this time that were kind of similar. You have Queen, you have like just some of the best vocals. You've got David Bowie is on the scene. You've got Ozzy Osbourne in his debut solo album is right around this time, Blizzard of Oz. Like when you've got David Bowie, Freddie Mercury, Ozzy Osbourne that are just letting loose, from the news, like they're just going at it. And I think it was this, like we see other moments in music history where people are fighting for dominance in a particular aspect of the game. There was a time at which it was like the Jackson 5 and the Osmond brothers, and they just were trying to see who was going to be the group until they ended up splitting up. And then it was Donny Osmond or Michael Jackson. I mean, you see stuff like times where like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys, like there's always some kind of competition that fuels excellence, that fuels improvement, that fuels this just otherworldly talent that shows up.
Yeah.
And definitely around 1980, there is this like cycle. And I mean, you've got the inspiration from Led Zeppelin and from other rock bands before them. I mean, you've got just so many really cool, I mean, Van Halen, like you've just got so many cool vocalists that come through that fuel one another.
Yeah. And I think I was talking with our friend Drew, who's been on the pod before, about this and showing him the band. He was like, I'm trying to think of if I could describe them in one word, it would be energy. And I was like, yeah, I would say power. Like you've got this band, I mean, AC/DC, we talked about in the beginning, power describes them. Like you're not going to come in with an acoustic guitar and sing TNT, and like you've got to come in.
That's pretty good, Jared. Actually,
that was great. I would listen to that. I really would.
I know.
Get in the studio, my guy. Acoustic version of Back in
That
the
was
Black.
dynamite.
Maybe one day, but
yeah, just pure energy.
But you listen to, if you took the vocals out, you just listen to the instruments, you've got to come in full force on that one. And for Brian Johnson, the way he does it is more nasally. It's kind of like Axl's voice. We hear his natural baritone in a few songs. So for Brian, I think it's like Let Me Put My Love Into You and Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution is where we hear his more natural voice. And then when he starts AC/DCing, especially like on Thunderstruck, not on this album, but Thunderstruck, I think it shows his fake voice to the max is how I'm going to describe it. Or like a goblin, like naturally, if you hear him talk, hear him sing, it's not like that. But for the power, the tone he's looking for, that's his voice for these songs. And Bonds was more natural, but it was still powerful in a more natural way. And so I don't know what those conversations look like, but it was like, this is what we need. This is great. And they went from there.
Yeah. I've never heard the comparison to a goblin, but it works really well.
Yeah. Now, that's not original to me.
Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like
another humongous highlight for me. I mean, Back in Black is probably still all around like one of the greater songs that we've heard, in my opinion, throughout all of these albums. I think it rounds out this like great guitar playing, the way that is it Angus Young and Brian Johnson that are going back and forth with, like, you get through the chorus and the way that they complement one another in their styles and in their lines and their runs. Like, it's just great. You get to this point where you've got like a 30 to 50 second solo, and the way that it like keeps the riff going, and the opening riff is one of the most recognizable things in history of music.
Yeah.
Like, you could go anywhere and hear that and people will know what you're listening to. It's just a great, like, all around song.
Yeah.
It's definitely going down in the history books of music.
Yeah, for sure.
Put that in a Walmart ad.
Yeah, I'd buy that with an onion. So that I don't know why I said that. So highlights. Any more highlights? Well, you mentioned the guitar playing, but all the guitar solos in this album are pretty gangbusters, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another masterclass.
Yeah.
I think it's another masterclass in brotherhood as well, and that you can have a band with your brother and it be completely successful and y'all get along and have great chemistry. Does not
They were
always
brothers?
have to. Oh yeah, Angus and Malcolm.
They're a band of brothers. Yeah.
Oh.
So, and actually, their one of their older brothers produced all their like first 5 to 6 albums before Highway to Hell. So,
Nepotism.
and I think one of their nephews is now Malcolm passed away a few years ago, but one of their nephews took his place, so it's still in the family.
Nice.
Cool.
Love it.
Cool.
Love it.
Well, on the other side of the coin, let's get into our we'll do our least faves and then our favorites. So
That's a good order.
yeah, in that order. We'll start with the least favorites, and we will put Jarrett on the spot right now. What is your least favorite? Quick.
I'm gonna go with Giving the Dog a Bone.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable. How about Jason Derulo?
This is crazy because I was also going to go with Giving a Dog a Bone, and so I really want to throw it back at you, Jarrett, because my reasoning was because this album is so kind of anthem heavy. It was the one that I was like, I couldn't use this one as an anthem. Of the 10, this would be like the first to go. Is that your same reasoning, or what was yours?
That's kind of near it. Part of it's like I couldn't sing this with a good and clear conscience. I do appreciate the wordplay.
That is also fair.
Because there's a few. It's not just like, I'm not going to go into the details of the lyrics. If you figure out how it's clever in its own way, awesome. I'm not going to tell you, but it's just like, I don't know if I can get behind this and wear this on my shirt or sing this or anything like that. So yeah, kind of the same.
Yeah. That makes sense. Daniel-san, what is your least favorite song on this album?
Yeah. It's Giving the Dog a Bone.
Ooh.
For me, it was one that I got to the beginning of, and like some of the music aspects of it are pretty cool. The like riff they sit into and the structure, minus some of the thematic pieces of it, felt like School of Rock, but in a weird way. That it's like a bunch of older dudes trying to be School of Rock.
I see what you're saying.
And
really takes the charm out of School of Rock when 40-year-olds are doing it.
Yeah.
But you could totally see how this inspired School of Rock. Like,
yes.
Without this album, we wouldn't have Jack Black.
I think
no, we wouldn't.
I think you're right. I really think you're right. And even I've got the album pulled up on my computer on Spotify, and the AC/DC cover like picture on Spotify is like older dudes, and one of them's in a schoolboy's uniform. And I'm like, that's just
Angus.
Yeah, that's just uncomfy.
Yeah.
And like it sold so many albums, like at least 30. And it's like worth its weight in gold.
At least.
But I can't with this song.
Yeah.
This particular track. Beans, what about you?
Yeah. And just to be precise, it sold at least 31.2.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Are we rounding up? Or...
I'm going to say my least favorite song on this here album is Let Me Put My Love Into You. For reasons that I have already stated, but the lyrics are not clever, and maybe they weren't trying to be clever, but it's just very blunt, and I didn't even like the musical part of it. The music wasn't the best that I've heard from AC/DC, and the lyrics were quite crude.
Couldn't take the cake.
That offends my Southern sensibilities and my etiquette. No, it doesn't. But I didn't like it. So that is the song that is my least favorite. I sound like I'm trying to fill a word count on an essay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my least favorite. On the brighter side of things, let's talk about our favorite freaking songs on this album, and we'll go in the same order. I'll start. Just kidding. Jarrett, you start.
I'm gonna go with Back in Black.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Way to
wow!
steal
What
the
a
obvious one.
controversial pick there.
Come on.
What are
I
you,
know none of
everybody?
you saw it coming. I do really like the simplicity of the guitar riff. If you've ever learned to play this song, it is definitely completely simple, but the play between the brothers I think is awesome. And just that, everything about it's iconic. You gotta have it.
Yeah.
It is. You gotta have it. Jason, what do you gotta have?
Well, so what I gotta have is I was gonna do a different one, but I feel like it's gonna get gotten. So I want to throw in a different, different pony into the race. As I don't know if anybody says that, but just to get this out there, I think, and I'll get
Coined
this
here,
is my
folks.
second. This is my second favorite, and it's just because I know that the top one will get in there. I'm gonna throw in "Shoot to Thrill." I feel like the energy is neat and really fun. And it's a really cool like second song. Like I think it fits its spot in the album really, really well.
Yeah.
As well as I feel like it's one of those that like by name doesn't get the hype that it's probably worth.
Right.
So
I feel that.
Yeah, that is a solid track. I hear that. Daniel, what do you think? What's your favorite?
Favorite that has not been mentioned would be
Has not been mentioned.
Hell's Bells.
sweet.
There it is.
I knew it was gonna get in there, so I was like, I'm gonna take my shot.
Yeah. It's such a good entrance. It's got a great culture behind it. Like when you hear it, the people like it's similar to Welcome to the Jungle, but in like a different vibe. Like people aren't starting to like scream and thrash about. They're just like kind of like getting ready to rumble. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, like it's a different energy of an intro that's like, oh, we're getting ready to go to war.
It's like the intro to Welcome to the Jungle.
but different.
But different. Yeah.
But different. It's a different vibe. It's a different energy. And then it just sits into this really cool riff once you get into it. It's like, it's great the way that they just kind of create it, craft it. The like, yeah, it's predictable once you've heard it a few times, but it does the job.
Yeah. And I was hoping that you would say Hell's Bells, because I was not going to say Hell's Bells, and I wanted it to be on here.
Ooh,
Good.
Yeah, I agree with you about Hell's Bells. It's like a very, getting pumped up song, like you're about to go to war.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's another song, not AC/DC, but just as a side note, you should listen to "You and Whose Army" by Radiohead. It's a very awesome going to war song. But my favorite song on this album would have to be "Rock and Roll Is Not Noise Pollution." I always wondered if it was or if it wasn't, and this song taught me. It just I don't know if I have specific reasons for it, but
The vibes.
It was the vibes. There's a guitar solo in there, I think, that really was good.
It's a good song.
I feel like it is the most vibey of the songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was very pure. It was like a love letter to rock and roll. And like how it's never going to die. So
Yeah.
we have come to the finale, which is we're going to rank this album on our album ranker. And I think this will be a tough one. So let us start
I think you're right.
with Jared.
Started with me last time.
For nothing. Actually, no, it's what you get for putting the wall last.
That's true.
But I put Dark Side first.
Yes.
Still.
Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't matter, dude.
Yeah, it's higher than where y'all put it. That's Bridge Under the Water though.
It's
I'm gonna
not where the bridge
put
is supposed to be,
this.
Jared.
Oh goodness.
Supposed to
I
be over Troubled Waters.
think I'm gonna put it under. It's definitely under Abbey Road. Is it gonna be above Hotel California or not?
Ooh.
I'm gonna put it under Hotel California and above 21. 21.
All right. That's respectable.
21. Wow.
Right above
Yeah.
Adel. All right.
Yeah.
There we have it for Jared. Jason, where's this album going for you?
Yeah, I've been debating. I know it's for sure below Abbey Road for me, so that was like a clean cut. I feel like it's still under Bat Out of Hell because I think that album took me by surprise. And so then I'm kind of sitting in that kind of range of the Appetite for Destruction, Supernatural, and Hotel California. And I think I'm going to put it just above Supernatural, below Appetite for Destruction. I really do like Appetite for Destruction a lot. But I think its iconicness and like it felt like every song on this album was one that I knew or like by ear. I was like, oh, I've heard this. And so I was like, there's some level that I have to give it respect for what it's due and throw it up there. As well as musically, it's incredible. But it was like, I can't really go much higher. So.
No, I mean, that's already way up there. Now we move on to Daniel. Where's this going on your ranker?
This is below Abbey Road for sure. Below Dark Side of the Moon. I think it's right above Hotel California for me.
Dang.
Which is a tough one because I loved Hotel California.
Yeah.
We're keeping it real close to Hotel California on all of our lists so far.
Yeah. It's some of the like I don't know. I feel like 7 or 8 out of these songs could be the hype song in any movie. You just got to find the right place for it. And Hotel California still has that great storytelling, but it's not like, I don't know. It also rocked in its simplicity.
Yes.
All right, point. Steven.
Who's Steven?
Baked beans.
Oh, yes.
Beans.
Well, I'm going to put this one, let's see, right above Dangerous and right below Appetite for Destruction. Yeah, I don't have good reasons for it, but that's just where my heart is taking me.
That's what feels right.
Yeah, it feels right. And it's still pretty close to Hotel California.
That puts Back in Black at number 7 on our list.
Nice.
Oh, man.
On
tied
Real
with Hotel California, which is ironic.
Wow.
Obvious. Also because we were all mentioning
we just created a rivalry
near Back in Black.
Yeah. Well, that puts our top 10 is Metallica, the Black Album at number 10. Number 9, Bat Out of Hell. Tied for number 7, Hotel California. And Back in Black. Number 6. No. Yes, number 6. Was it tied for 5? Tied for 5, Bad and Rumors.
Oh.
Number 4, 21. Number 3, Dark Side of the Moon. 21. Number 2, Abbey Road. And still our number 1, Led Zeppelin 4.
I'm very happy with Led Zeppelin 4 being number 1. Even though it's not number 1 on my list, I'm appreciative of it being number 1.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that.
Yes. So what that about wraps up our episode here. The next album that we're going to be doing is Leave What's Lost Behind by Colony House. And you might be thinking, hey, that's not a best-selling album of all
The
time.
second most.
It's not.
It's not at all.
We're doing another favorites episode, and that is Senior Jason's favorite album, or one of his favorite albums. I don't want to... It's a hard choice, favorite album. But yeah, we're going to be talking about that, and it's going to be gangbusters.
Yeah.
All right. So that is all I have to say. I don't know how to end.
Thank you, Stephen. That concludes this episode of the Goat Pod. If you enjoyed this or didn't, feel free to let us know by emailing us at thegoatpodemail@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram at thegoat_pod. Thank you so much for listening, and until next time.